Welcome to Improv for the Podcast. On this week's episode, I'm joined by Andrew Colin, who will tell us all about his improvisational journey. We'll play a couple games, and most importantly, learn how he improv'd his life. Let's hit it. Welcome to Improv for the Podcast. Today, I am joined by the incredibly talented man of the law, master of the coffee bean, owner of dog from the Chinese village, Andrew Colin.
Hey, those are all accurate descriptors in one way or another.
All right, Andrew, thank you so much for coming on the show. How are you doing tonight?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing well. I was very excited to be on here tonight. It's happening.
It's happening. Yeah. And you were mentioning to me before we started, this is the first time you've been on a podcast.
Yes, long-time listener, first-time talker.
All right. So yes.
It's surreal in a way. It's
I was
cool.
Say, no one calls. No one calls. We don't have a phone number to call. It's not.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I haven't called in yet, but maybe I'll try next week.
I'll work on it, see if I can set up a line. But yeah, it's really great to have you on. Matt has sung your praises, and yeah, I think I may have sent an email to you, but it was not the correct address.
He mentioned that like he was trying to connect us. He's like, Michael's emailed you. And I'm like, I don't think he has.
Yeah, 2 times, and I think. I need to double check because Matt gave me the email, but I may have typed it wrong, or I don't know.
Some like Andrew like Schmalin out there is like, who is this Michael guy?
Yeah, he's like, I don't do improv. I'm uncomfortable with this. How does he know my name? Yeah, there's some guy out there who's really frightened, but I'm glad I was able to get the correct information.
Yeah, it worked out.
To get you on. Yeah, it was a journey. It was a journey. So Andrew, as we're getting started, I'm looking up at this old sign here, and I'm thinking, well, what's your relationship to this old place, old IFTP?
Oh man, it goes way back. I think so. How we started is my buddy and I were living in like West LA in like 2014, before I started at law school, and we didn't know how much longer we'd be living together if I was going to go to law school in a different part of the country. So we're like, we need to take an acting class while we're in Los Angeles. And my buddy really wanted to do improv. So we found Matt and IFTP on, I think, Yelp, and then show up. And then next thing you know, I'm doing a scene on my first class about like monologuing about pretzels or something is what I vaguely remember.
As you should. Yeah.
And I just completely fell in love with the studio and improv, and then have been taking classes, teaching classes on and off at IFTP for about 10 years now.
Wow, yeah, going back to 2014. It's 2024. Oh, no.
I know, wild.
Andrew, no. No, that was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yikes. Oh, yeah, this is the first guest I've had on in 2024, so now that's really sinking in.
Happy New Year.
Yikes, Happy New Year. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, well, that's amazing. 10 years of kind of history here at IFTP, going back to, like you said, you were at the old theater in the Washington Boulevard,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, West LA, Washington Boulevard, and Electric, or around that area.
Yeah, so you've seen some change. You've seen some glow up in the studio.
To say the least, yeah. I mean, Matt, I think at the time there's probably 3 classes. How many are there now? Like 9, 10? Like
a lot. I mean, 4 different days a week there's classes, and a lot of random workshops and one-off classes and a podcast, I guess. We're still here, so
I think I heard of that.
Yeah.
And multiple teachers. It's really become such an amazing, like even greater place, reaching more and more people. So it's awesome to still be a part of it.
Some might say because of you.
Oh, maybe a little bit.
Well, we'll dig into that in a little bit. So before we get a little more in depth on Andrew Colin, we got to play some 3 things.
Oof, love it.
All right. So have you played 3 things before?
I have.
Yeah, it's like 5 things, but we just do 3 because we're lazy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But these categories, well, I tried to make them personalized to you, Andrew.
Wow.
So I've done some research. I've done some sleuthing. I always enjoy doing that. Any questions before we get started?
No, I think hit me with them. This could go a number of ways, so I'm intrigued.
We'll do 3 things from 3 different categories. I'll tell you the category, you do it, and then, Yeah. You got it. All right, here we go. These are 3 things. First category, favorite impressions that you do.
Patrick Warburton.
1.
Chris Collinsworth.
2.
Sam Elliott.
3. These are 3 things. All right, very nice, very nice. Number 2, 90s kids things.
Oh, Doug.
1.
Third Eye Blind.
2.
Gogurt.
3. Very nice. All right. Last category. Tools for making coffee.
You need a scale.
1.
A good grinder.
2.
And I'm going to say a brewer of your choice. I like the Hario.
3. These are 3 things. All right. Let's circle back. Favorite impressions. Sure. I was not expecting Chris Collinsworth. I hate that guy.
Really?
Now here's a guy like.
Here's a guy.
Oh, no.
He's pretty awful.
He's in my least favorite commentators. I think it's like Chris Collinsworth, Jason Garrett.
Oh, he's.
And maybe Tony Romo, actually.
You're not a Romo guy.
No, he's just.
He's divisive because I think he just approaches each thing with like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to say stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I think I liked him when he was new on the scene, but now it's just.
A little over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, oh man. So I appreciate that impression because
Thank you.
I don't know anyone who likes Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah.
Maybe his family.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope, yeah.
And one of my first videos I ever like uploaded to either TikTok or Instagram was like an impression of Chris Collinsworth at a dog show. And I'm still kind of fond of that one, which I don't think really resonated with people at the time. But the idea of him being like, now here's a dog that is just the Tom Brady of dogs.
Yeah.
Something about that really tickles me.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of fun. It's just like taking his character and applying it in other contexts.
Right.
Like, yeah, I want to see that because I want to hate on him anywhere I can.
Yeah. The more avenues to do so, the better.
Yeah. You get it. You get it. And I mean, Patrick Warburton, who doesn't like him, is the best.
He's great. It's just he's really, I mean, I fell in love with like his style of comedy, I think, watching Seinfeld.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. He was so good.
Just the sort of blank stare on his face. Right? And like him doing the guy from The Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah, my wife loves that one.
Yeah. I think that's like how I first saw him, and then watching Seinfeld later, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is, he's the king of the 90s.
He's like such a specific kind of doofus that I love.
Yeah, he's so good at it.
Yeah.
All right. And that last one, Sam Elliott. I mean, Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
Sam Elliott.
Legend.
I just watched Tombstone pretty recently.
Okay.
For the first time.
I haven't seen that one.
Well, one amazing movie. You should go home and watch it.
Okay.
I think, it came out in 93, I think. But Sam Elliott, great. Killed it. It's like Kurt Russell, Sam Elliott, Val Kilmer's in there. Oh my gosh. Sam Elliott should always be a cowboy.
Oh, I think I have a video about one of the first things I ever did that I really loved. It was like a video I made of Sam Elliott scrolling through like castingnetworks.com. And it was just like cowboy, cowboy, cowboy. I was like, that looks interesting.
It just, that's all he gets. And he's looked the same for
so long.
Tombstone, he looks the same as he does now. And that was like 30 years ago.
Still the white hair and everything?
Yeah, and the mustache. And like he was old in that movie. He was an older brother.
That's how I always feel about like Larry David as well. And like Leslie Nielsen, if you love his stuff. He's always kind of been old even when he's young.
Like, have you ever looked different?
Yeah, there's no way.
Larry David's always had like the bald crown of his head with the like wraparound hair.
I think he's been bald since he was like 20 something.
Yeah.
But,
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. Oh man. All right. That's second category. I asked you about 90s kids things because I scrolled through your Instagram and just seeing many of the thumbnails of your reels, I was like, oh yeah. I saw a lot of things in there, very relatable. And you mentioned Gogurt, which I love Gogurt.
Yeah. I don't know why that one came to mind, but for some reason it was just like such a specific core memory of like, why would you eat Gogurt? Why would you eat yogurt with a spoon when you can just shove it in your face? I feel like I didn't even like yogurt that much, but something about it just like sticks in my brain.
They made it fun.
Yeah.
They made yogurt fun.
They did.
Yeah, we used to, my sister and I used to put them in the freezer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it was like almost like ice cream?
Yeah, it was so good, like frozen yogurt.
Wow, you're ahead of your time.
That was probably my mom's idea. I don't know. But I remember.
It as your own.
Hot summer day, bust out a frozen Gogurt. Ooh.
Genius. I'm going to try that now.
So good. So good. What was I going to ask? I think you mentioned Doug, and then what was the other thing?
Oh, Third Eye Blind.
Oh, Third Eye Blind. Yeah. Okay. Yes. A lot of good stuff still meaningful that came out in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, I still watch Doug kind of often. If
Okay,
you have a
yeah.
Paramount Plus, there's you can watch like every Nickelodeon show, and Doug is one that just holds up so much even today. It's
Yeah.
just I don't know, something so nostalgic about it and clever and charming
Yeah.
about like just a boy who's 11 and a half just going through life.
That's a great age, 11 and a half.
Yeah.
On the cusp of being a teen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that awkward transitionary period.
Yeah, it's a tough time. Okay, I hate to do this, but I'm going to circle back to Chris Collinsworth. If you have a Chris Collinsworth impression, are you a football fan?
I am, big time.
Who's your team?
The Eagles.
Oh, man. Boy, I'm sorry.
It's been rough.
It's been a bit of a meltdown.
Yeah.
A bit of a meltdown. You're stumbling into the playoffs.
It's been maybe the greatest collapse I've seen in a long time.
I think Jaguars was pretty bad
That was bad.
this year.
Yeah.
So,
I like Doug Peterson.
yeah, former Eagles coach
Yeah.
got you Super Bowl. A good friend of mine is a big Eagles fan. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he in just dire straits right now?
Yeah, he's in shambles.
Yeah.
It's like you go into the playoffs, but are we?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like we've all given up.
Yeah.
I showed my brother this, like just something I saw on Instagram or Twitter the other day that was like, I think it was after the loss last week, like not even the other day.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I saw my neighbor taking down his Eagles flag. And it was just a picture of Jim Carrey just like crying and nodding. Like, I get it.
That's rough.
So
Yeah.
I got to ask, what's your team?
Oh boy. Well, I'm a Chargers fan. I don't know if you've ever met one, but
I have one, and he's like barely a Chargers fan.
okay.
Yeah.
See,
but,
I grew up down there in San Diego. So
okay,
it's-
so you're one of the ones that stuck with it.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I took a break and then I was like, you know what? I'm here. So yeah, and it's always been rough. That's all
I know.
I'll really
It's
say
just
about
like
that.
decades of
Yeah.
just mediocrity.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. My entire time watching, so my entire fandom, which has gone on for a while now.
Maybe
Yikes.
this year, you never know next year if you hired the right
Exactly.
coach.
I want to get Jim Harbaugh. He's playing in the national championship right
Right
now.
now.
I hope he wins, and then he's like, "I'm done with college football." So
It's very possible.
Michigan was up 17-3 last time I checked the score.
I think they tied it up since we
oh
walked in.
no!
Or no, they didn't. Sorry, they didn't tie it up, but they scored a touchdown.
Oh, Washington scored. That's not good. I need Michigan. I really need Michigan to win. I need Harbaugh to be done,
Yeah.
quit, and then come coach the Chargers, and then lose the Super Bowl to his brother. That's what I need to happen.
That's all within the realm of possibility. at
Yeah,
this point.
all within the realm. All right. Go Birds. I'm rooting
Thank
for him
you.
this weekend because I don't want to see you sad, Andrew.
I
don't wanna see you
appreciate
sad.
that.
And I know my
Yeah.
friend feel the same way. I don't want to see him sad either.
It's going to be a weird Monday night, I think,
Yeah.
either way.
Oh, yeah, it's Monday night. I know,
Yeah.
with the Super Wild Card weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh, yikes. So you got to be nervous all weekend.
Yeah.
Can't get it out of the way.
I know. And then, just watch all the other games and think about the scenarios that might happen.
Yep.
Yep.
What can you do? That's football.
Yep.
It's football. I'm kind of glad I don't have to watch this year.
Yeah, you can just
Playoffs.
watch as like a non-attached person.
I'm just going to root for somebody and
Yeah.
just relax. No stress.
pick your guys and go for it. I got to say, I went last year when the Eagles were in the Super Bowl. I flew home to Philadelphia to watch it with my buddies.
Wow. Okay, so you're from out there.
Yeah. So
Nice.
in 2017, when we won, I was out here, and it was still really fun. Like me
Yeah.
and my wife just watched at the like that Eagles bar in Santa Monica,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah.
like being in Philadelphia in a way, but
Yeah.
seeing all my friends
Not the
just go
same.
crazy. I was like, well, if we
Grease the
win,
light posts.
exactly, do some weird stuff.
Yes.
But I wanted to be out there in case it happened again. But instead, it was just pretty depressing.
Yeah, well, I hate the Chiefs, so I'm with you there. Yeah, they
Yeah.
just beat up the Chargers now all the time. So
Oh yeah,
I hate
that's
them.
like I can't even remember the last time Chiefs lost to the Chargers. So
Oh no, I can't either.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Pre-Mahomes, I think. Well, no, the Chargers beat Mahomes once.
Okay.
That was cool.
take it to the bag.
It's one
yeah.
game. I think, back when we still had Philip Rivers. Anyway, no need to focus on the past.
We're looking toward the future.
Yep, we're looking towards the future. So that last category I asked you about coffee. Why'd I ask you about coffee?
You asked me about coffee, Michael, because I'm really into coffee.
Good. I love it.
And it's funny because I think my obsession sort of started with our good friend Matt Moore.
Ah,
I forget why exactly, but maybe like 2018, 2019-ish. I asked him if he wanted to go to CoffeeCon in Los Angeles.
oh, interesting.
I was kind of new to coffee at that time, and it just sounded like a really fun thing to do. My wife doesn't drink coffee, so I know Matt really liked coffee. Yeah, it's difficult, but it just means more for me in the end.
There you go.
And then there was just a really cool event where, you know, for a small admission, you just got to try coffee from all these different roasters. And my mind kind of opened up to like what coffee could be. And it just also honestly looked really fun to make it on your own at home.
Yeah.
And then probably during the pandemic, I got some basic equipment, like a nice sort of kettle and a Chemex and a scale.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And just started going from there and learning about it and really enjoying the process of making my own coffee at home. And then shortly thereafter, I guess, started making like videos about it. And one kind of caught a good amount of attention on Instagram that I really liked. And just started kind of posting more coffee content.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, I love those Instagram like coffee videos. So I'm a recent aspiring barista, I suppose.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, just like low level, low key. But my question was gonna be, do you have a favorite drink or like a signature drink you like to make? Or is it just like black pour over coffee? Like
yeah, it's a good question. I recently got an espresso machine, and that's been really fun to mess around with, because if you ever seen those like videos on YouTube or TikTok where it's just like people being like really intricate about their espresso preparation. I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
That looks fun. But I think still my favorite drink is just like you said, like it's like a black pour over coffee. I like it iced too, but I'm not a big milk guy. It kind of messes with my stomach. So a lot of the fun with espresso is like steaming milk, texturizing milk. So I've just sort of, I think my favorite thing is just either a black coffee or an iced Americano. I really enjoy too.
Iced Americano is good.
Yeah.
I also recently just got an espresso machine.
Oh, really?
And I've been loving it. Like, yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Which one did you get?
It's nothing crazy. It's like a $50 one from Amazon.
Okay.
But, you put in the grinds, it makes espresso, and it froths milk. So it's a good, good place to start. And it's been fun so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I did
can make like 4 shots at a time. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's cool about coffee is it totally can be what you want it to be.
Yeah.
Like if you're one of those people that just wants to sort of get into your rocket fuel for the day, you can totally find something that'll let you do that and maybe save money versus going to the coffee shop every day.
Yep.
Or if you're a nerd that loves science and just really wants to get into it and really maximize the equipment you have, then you can do that too.
Yeah. I think I'm on that path. It's just like it's going to get there eventually.
It's a long path because of the barrier to entry is pretty great, I think.
Yeah.
Not only in terms of like monetary wise, but like the time and the information just takes a while. So like it's just going to be like, if you can continue to like it, you'll continue to grow and purchase new things and try new things out. But I've gotten a few of my friends like more interested in coffee just from talking about it with them, and it's been fun. But yeah, there's a sort of a different people like have a different sort of experience with coffee, and there's like different ways that they can really enjoy it. So that's what I think is so unique and fun about it.
100%. It's fun. It's fun to make drinks.
Totally.
Yeah, that's what I like, and I just been experimenting with like different lattes. Basically,
nice.
I'm like, all right, what can I throw in here? Nutella. Just like,
how are you at texturing milk? I find that very difficult.
I'm okay. So we have like a hand like electric frother, and then there's the steam frother built into the machine, which has actually been really great. I've been trying to do non-dairy stuff a little bit, and getting the oat milk's been working, getting a little frothy. It's hard to replace cow milk.
Yeah.
It's so good. It works so well.
Funny that you say that.
I
went to have you heard of that place in LA called like the Butcher, the Baker, the Cappuccino Maker?
Yeah.
I went there yesterday for a brunch with some friends, and they have those like colored lattes, with just like insane latte art.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think I'll ever be at that level.
Yeah. I hear there's a machine that can like 3D print latte art.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen it. There's a place you can go and you can buy one. To have at home. And I was like, well, that's no fun if a machine does it.
Yeah, like what's the point?
It takes the artistry out of it.
Right, just kind of like having a sunset on a coffee for the sake of it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, wow, it's a hyper-realistic photo of my face on the latte. Like, I don't want that. It's cool when someone like has is able to do it. But
Yeah, really impressive.
yeah, the best I've done is write my wife's name in honey.
That's pretty
But it's
cool.
like sloppy. But I'm like, you
can read that, right?
Yeah. It's 3 letters, so that's why
That
that
makes
really
it
helped.
easier.
Yeah. So I'm fortunate.
Yeah.
Kept it short. But that's just fun stuff. Like it's just fun to make, fun to drink. It's a weekend thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just honestly, like, part of the reason I got into it too, is just like save so much money versus going to the coffee shop. And you add like, that's fun to treat yourself every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
But like if you're doing that all the time, that's so much money a week.
Yeah. Because now drinks are like pretty much $6. I feel like.
I had a cold brew that was like $8.
There's nothing in
months
it.
ago.
It's cold brew.
I know. I was like, why am I paying so much for this?
Yeah, you're like, oh look, this doesn't have milk. This doesn't have it's a little ridiculous out here.
Oh yeah, it can be.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, I still like to go every now and then.
No, yeah. I mean, treat yourself.
Yeah, treat yourself. All right, last coffee question. Then we're going to talk about improv, but it's fun to talk coffee.
No, yeah, I'm here for it. Whatever you want.
It's a blossoming hobby, I suppose. All right, do you have a favorite coffee shop in LA?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, I really like this coffee shop called The Boy and the Bear. I think they have 3 locations. They have one in Pasadena, and I think maybe like 2 in the South Bay.
Okay.
And really cool aesthetic in there. A really great variety of coffee drinks. But honestly, there's so many good ones. Another cool one is called Mandarin Coffee Stand in Pasadena. Another one called Good Boy Coffee, I think, in the South Bay. But yeah, I think The Boy and the Bear is probably my favorite.
Okay. All right. Might have to check it out.
Yeah, it's worth a visit. That I did pay for a pour over there once, which I always feel so guilty when I order a pour over at a shop because it's like it takes
It's a
6
process.
minutes. So
Yeah.
like I always try to do it when the shop's relatively empty. So like
it's
if it's
a little
slammed,
slow.
I'm not going to be like, excuse me,
Yeah.
could you take an extra 10 minutes for me?
There's a huge line behind you.
Yeah. So yeah, one day of the week where it was a little emptier, I did it, and it was probably like over $8, but it was a really delicious cup of coffee.
I mean, there's a process for that though. So at least the
Yeah.
price there is like cold brew. It's like that's already made.
Right.
That just sat in a fridge.
No, yeah, it's like the barista's paying a lot of attention for me, and like taking 5 minutes out just to like make sure everything's specifically done in a certain way.
Yeah.
So it was a very good cup of coffee, but it's not something that I would do with great frequency.
Yeah, on the reg.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah.
All right. So Andrew, we got to talk about improv. That's why we're here.
That's the name of the game.
Who knows? Football or coffee could come up again. So I want to ask you. I want you to think about like back in your life. When was the first time you learned about, saw improv? When was that?
That's a good question because I have a very specific answer.
Ooh, good.
I just remember my bedtime in like 6th grade. I think was 10 o'clock, 10:30 maybe.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow, that's late.
Is that late?
I think so. I don't know. I don't remember. That feels late.
It
I don't
does.
know.
I think it got bumped to 10:30
Wild
at some
child.
point when my
Okay.
brother was older and he's staying up. And I'm like,
Oh,
stay
yeah.
up.
That
But then
helps.
I think part of it may have been because at like 9 or 9:30, Whose Line Is It Anyway was on. And I don't remember, I guess, how exactly we started watching it. Maybe it was my parents. But me and my brother just completely fell in love with it and the short form comedy of it all. And, these such talented performers just coming up with all these hilarious bits off the top of their heads just kind of blew my mind. And I still remember my mom and dad being like, "This is scripted. There's no way. There's no way."
Now, boys, they may say it's made up, but it's not.
Yes, I still remember it. I'm like, I really think it's real. And it's just like the performers, I specifically remember like Colin Mockery,
Yes.
Ryan Stiles, and Wayne Brady just being like,
that's the big three.
yeah.
Yeah.
And just being like, I guess I didn't have the intent that like I want to do that, but I remember thinking like that's the epitome of comedy to me.
Yeah, it doesn't get funnier than this.
Yeah, and it was so silly too, and I think that really resonated with me because it's just like these grown men having fun being silly, without costumes or props or a script. So that was really intriguing.
Yeah, there's nothing else like it on TV.
No,
I remember, my parents showed it to my sister and I was like, what the heck? This is awesome.
what is going on?
How did they do that? They're so good at sound effects.
And the song still, even having done improv now for 10 years, I still don't the songs and coming up with lyrics that quickly is something that I don't think I'll ever be.
Yeah, they're all so incredible at it.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Just all the Irish drinking songs and all the different formats they had were always so fun.
I think one of my favorite games had to be Greatest Hits, which is when Colin and Ryan would kind of like describe what the song was going to be about, and then Wayne and sometimes the second performer would sing the song. There's so many good moments.
Yeah. That's fun. Well, tonight you're going to be playing Greatest Hit. No, that would be so mean.
He's got like a guitarist that walks out of here and just like, are you ready?
We've got a live band. They're in the restroom right now.
You pack a lot of people in there.
Yeah, well, that's our waiting room as well. That would be crazy. Okay, so you saw Whose Line. How old were you when you first saw Whose Line?
I think I was probably like 13-ish.
13. Oh, yeah, you said 6th grade.
Yeah, around that age.
Yeah,
like
with the 10:30 bedtime. Cool guy.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Wow. Is that still your bedtime now? Or?
Honestly, it's probably earlier. I think we started getting ready for bed at like 9:45.
Yeah. You get up early?
Sometimes. My wife always gets up really early, and I try to get up early, but it takes a while for us to wind down, I think, these days.
Yeah.
Which is when in childhood, you're just like, all right, I'm going to go sleep.
Yep. Oh, yeah, no more. I wish. That'd be so nice.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Okay. So you saw Whose Line, and you were like, wow, this show's crazy. So growing up, were you interested in performing at all? Like with the music or art or dance or acting? Was that something you did, or you're just like, meh?
Yeah, I mean, not in a structured way is what I can think of, because I wasn't involved in theater or really too much in the arts. But my friends and I love to like make stupid little videos on our handheld cameras.
Yeah.
And I think I slowly fell in love with performing and just making my friends laugh.
Yeah.
And that was just something and myself, like them making me laugh, like just that reciprocal nature of us goofing and having fun is what I really came to love, and slowly learned more about like editing as well and making videos and putting them all together. So nothing in the structure of like a theater or something, like any formal training, but I just really came to love filmmaking in a way. Nothing that could be called a film, really, that prestigious word, but just goofing around.
Yeah, but video content too. I mean, that's like, it's huge, especially I think like kind of growing up. I think we're a similar age. Yeah. So like, growing up with the rise of YouTube and just like being able to edit videos, post them online and share them, and like, it's huge. Just absolutely revolutionary.
That's another form of content I came to love is like online sketches.
Yeah, short form video. And so much that you can do. Did you ever have a flip video camera? Or do you remember those?
I don't think I did. Was it digital?
Yeah, they were digital.
And it wasn't a phone?
No, it wasn't a phone.
I think I remember them, but I don't think I had them.
They were real. They had their moment because it was, like cell phones had cameras, but the video was terrible. Yeah. And then, digital cameras, of course, everybody, SD card and all that.
Right.
But the flip, they had the built-in like USB adapters. You'd plug it directly into the computer. You'd get the video right off of it. Insane.
That's awesome.
I think there was like the dying breath, and then smartphones started getting better. But that was late 2000, mid to late 2000s.
I'm like
I think
vaguely having this weird memory of a commercial for like a device that wasn't a phone, but it was like, it's a camera.
Yeah.
It's a video camera.
Yeah.
And it had all these other functions. And I remember it, I was like 15. I'm like, technology has come too far.
You're like, nobody needs this.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a predecessor to a GoPro almost.
Yeah. I'm kind of remembering it, but I think the last, handheld camera I had probably before a cell phone or like a DSLR camera was like just a standard videotape camera.
Yeah, like
maybe it shot HD, but
like 720. Yeah. Whoo.
Yeah. I don't think my parents were willing to shell out for that, so it was kind of an older camera that like got the job done. Yeah. If you had a FireWire cord.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all the different cables you'd have to have.
Yeah.
I remember my dad had this camcorder that I brought to a friend's house because we were making some dumb video. we made this thing. It's called Welcome to the Asylum. And
starring you both?
It was a bunch of us. We had a sleepover, and we were all like, "Oh, we got to shoot this weekend." And I was like, "Guys, I'll bring the camcorder." And I was like, "Okay." Brought the camcorder. We shot it all. We couldn't figure out how to get the video off of the camcorder because it shot in this the proprietary file format. I can't even remember what it was. And I was like, guys, I'm so sorry. And I told my friends, I was like, I can't leave this footage on here. I don't want my dad to see it.
Oh no.
So I deleted it.
Oh, all that effort.
So we never saw. This was a sequel too. There had been a Welcome to the Asylum, and this was Welcome to the Asylum Part 2.
What are the fans gonna think? Weren't they disappointed by the lack of the release?
Yeah, dozens were disappointed.
That is a huge bummer.
Yeah, that was bad. That was a really low moment.
And that really
disappointed all my friends. All that hard work.
That is rough because it's like if you had a large cast, they all had so much fun making it.
It was like 6 of us, I think, like came together that
Did they
weekend.
forgive you?
We were able to move past it eventually. I think we did a school project later that was pretty fun.
As a matter of fact,
and we didn't use that camera. So someone else was like, "Oh, God, we're not using Michael's camera this time around."
I remember when you mentioned that, my friend and I made a video for our 8th grade Spanish class. That was you had to make a video, and then we filmed it on my dad's camera, and then we couldn't figure out how to get it onto my computer.
Yep.
And then what we had to do was in the little preview window that kind of flipped out of the camera.
Oh, no.
My friend took his camera and filmed the preview window.
Oh, no.
The whole thing.
Oh.
And then I think we got it like at least a B.
Yeah. That's what could you do? That little like stupid screen.
Yeah. It was just
man.
funny to have like that be the assignment when like none of these kids are going to be equipped to like edit anything that's remotely good.
Yeah, just throw it in a Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, that was the best. I love that thing. That thing was great. I used to, this is going way back. I don't think I've ever admitted this publicly. There was a phase in my life. I was very into Pokemon.
I'm still in that phase.
Yeah,
I hear you.
I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan. But, I was younger, so I had a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I used to record battles, but I would point the camera at the screen and just record it and upload it.
Are you going to reveal to me that you're one of my favorite, like, Pokétubers right now?
It was a short career.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think the channel still exists, but I cannot even log into it.
Right. If you find it, you got to send it to me.
Oh, I know what it is exactly. I'm not going to say it on recording, but I know I could find it right now.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I should show that to my wife. I don't think she knows that exists. I didn't speak or anything on the videos. I just recorded it and like put just the game sound.
Oh man, I got to tell you something now.
Yeah.
I probably haven't admitted to anyone publicly.
Yeah.
But on one of my first YouTube channels, maybe it was a secondary one I made, I filmed my Nintendo DS.
Yeah, that's what it was on the DS.
It was like a video of a level 1 Pokemon getting like 800,000 EXP at once or something.
Oh, nice.
And it like...
It's like a glitch or...
Yeah. And I filmed it and I kind of never didn't think anything of it. And then like, I think I went back to that video like a year later and it had like over 1 million views.
Wow. And you're like, whoa.
I'm like, when did this happen?
Why? I mean, that's probably a video. Yeah, I would watch that. I'd be like, what does happen?
Exactly. Exactly. It piques a lot of curiosity.
Yeah, people want to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think my videos probably did not pass 50 views.
They're still hanging below the hundreds.
Yeah, well, now, they're not relevant. They're buried deep in YouTube.
The algorithm somewhere.
They're from a game that came out 15 plus years ago.
That's my my wife recently was like clearing stuff out of the house and she's like, do you want any of these games anymore? And they're like Pokemon games. And I'm like, part of me wants to keep them. Part of me is like, I'm never going to play these. So she like put them on. She went to GameStop or something, and the guy was straight up like, just put these on OfferUp. Yeah. And then like within minutes, she got like offers of like $150.
Oh yeah, you can make money with those.
Yeah.
Those
are made a good chunk.
Yeah. I was gonna say like on eBay or people resell.
Like within minutes, people are all about that.
Can I ask like, do you know which games?
I think they were like black and white.
Oh yeah.
And maybe black and white too.
Those are fan favorites. Any of the DS games like hold up really well in value.
Yeah. Apparently, I had no idea because I figured you could probably just get them on like the eShops now or something, but maybe not.
Nope.
Really?
Nope. Not Nintendo, man.
That's
they make
wild.
it difficult.
Yeah.
I know I'm revealing a lot about myself. This is an unexplored side of me at IFTP.
Oh, there's gamers will relate.
Yeah.
There's some of you out there. I know it.
I'm not afraid to admit it. I know my Pokemon pretty well. Not to brag.
Me too. We got to talk about this more.
Yeah. That's all I'm going to say. I know some things.
Okay, cool.
I know some things.
I'm right there with you.
All right. Good. Okay. So growing up, you weren't a performer, but you were forged in the fires of early YouTube days, early video editing, using Window Movie Maker, hanging out with your friends, making stuff. Like, I think the lunch table is such a strong venue to like make you funny.
Oh, for sure.
Because that environment of like, I'm with all my friends, like, I want to make them laugh, you know,
Yeah.
like just being at school, being in classes and like all those things, like that's your place to perform, test out material.
Definitely.
You know?
But I, like, strangely enough, I'm still am. I'm pretty like an introverted person. So I think when I think of like high school class clowns, like I don't put myself in that category. Like I have very specific, really funny kids in my mind. And I think I was always a little too shy to try to put myself out there in that way. But I think amongst my friends, like you said, with the lunch table, I love goofing off.
That's the venue.
And then eventually, like, my school started doing this, like, sort of like all guy pageant. I think probably my junior year. And it was called, like, Mr. Harriton. It was like the name of the high school. Ooh. And then I, like, don't know what compelled me to do it and to try it, but I did it. And then, like, I performed and did things that I ordinarily don't think I would ever do, like on stage. And I think that was a really great way to sort of like break out of my shell and be like, I can be myself in a way that people will.
Wait, what did you do? What was your act?
So there was a video component, I think, where they interviewed you, and I think I had a silly little interview that got some laughs. Yeah. And then there was like a talent portion, and in that I played a BB Mac song. With my two friends that sang with me. And I don't remember at the beginning, but I think we had like a funny little banter. Yeah. And then the other portions were just like dancing things that I don't remember super well. Didn't win, but it was just like a great sort of...
That's a shame. You were the people's champ.
That's what I like to think. Yeah. My best friend actually won.
Well, that's good.
Still holds that.
So you're the reason he won then?
I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
The same friend that I think I mentioned at the beginning that, you know, we did improv together. But yeah, in a weird way, I was just like, it's fun to goof off and like people actually think like what I have to say is, you know, funny, or like I'm, you know, I can be funny on stage or in a way like that I can be myself and that's not totally weird, but like, you know, some people will enjoy. Yeah. And just performing in that way, I found a little invigorating and fun.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. And like in high school too, that's a big moment if you're choosing to get up on stage and perform in front of your peers.
Definitely.
Like, so you were ready. You're like, look, I've been at the lunch table. I know what's up. I've been editing on Windows Movie Maker.
Every single day at this lunch table, I've been taking notes of what people have been saying. I'm ready to get after it.
I'm ready to get after it. That's really cool. So that was kind of like your first taste of like getting up on stage then and kind of doing that. I mean, I'm sure you've been forced on stage through school stuff before, but
that was, I think,
everyone
first
has.
Yeah, like I think I was Stuart Little.
Nice.
Or I was the brother in the Stuart Little play. Which is a big role.
Never mind.
It was a big role.
Never mind. I thought we had a leading man over there.
No.
Well, at this point.
Unfortunately not.
As a character actor. That's pretty cool. That Stuart Little play?
Yeah, we did the play. Like it was like right after the movie came out.
Oh, okay.
Too, so maybe it was like kind of in the zeitgeist.
I was in a Shrek play. Like, you know, there's a Shrek musical now.
No, but that sounds.
This was before there was a Shrek musical.
Okay.
So it was like Shrek was hot, and then there was a Shrek play.
Is this in high school?
No, this was this was around when the movie came out. Like,
is it like 2001 or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, very cool.
Yeah, I was one of the. I think I was one of the pigs or something. I don't even know. It was like a community theater. They're like, we're doing Shrek.
That's sick.
Yeah, because now there's been a Shrek Broadway musical and like it's been a whole thing. But this was we were not at that point. Yeah, I don't know who wrote this. I don't know.
We gotta find them. And get them on the pod.
I wish I had I could go back and find that script and like.
Oh, it's probably worth thousands.
It could be. My parents might have it in their garage. I don't know.
That's awesome.
It probably not, but.
I would love to know what the costuming for Shrek looked like.
I can't remember.
Like green face paint?
I would imagine.
Yeah.
I just remember the gingerbread man. That's it. Because I knew the person who was the gingerbread man. Okay. And it was just like a gingerbread man costume. So
simple enough.
Yeah. It was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can't even remember my own costume. That's the sad part.
Yeah. I wonder if they still have that stashed away with the script somewhere.
Maybe my Three Little Pig costume.
Yeah. Put that on your dog or something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, true. That'd be good. Okay. So high school happens. You graduate high school. you go to college somewhere. Were you doing creative stuff during college? Were you focusing on your studies?
Yeah, so I actually went to USC film school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any notable alumni from there? Any film related?
None that I can think of off the top of my head.
No.
Yeah. Maybe like Drew Carey.
And even then, notable. I said notable.
Oh, you said notable. Yeah.
Yeah. You just make stuff up. So.
Yeah. So it was actually a school I didn't plan to go to because it was so far away from Philadelphia.
Yeah. You moved across the country.
Yeah. Mom wasn't thrilled about it.
Yeah.
But,
that makes sense.
I think at one point I was just like, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
And I was like, I love film stuff. I love movies. I want to know more about making movies. And my dad's like, you should go to USC. So I applied and somehow got in. And ended up obviously staying in Los Angeles since then.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, what do I like? I make videos and I like watching movies. Was that kind of like the reasoning?
Honestly, yeah, because all these other schools that I didn't get into that many schools, but I think the other ones that I had the opportunity to go to, I was like, oh, I don't really know what I would do here or what I would study. So I should figure that out.
Yeah. And
then had the good fortune of my dad suggesting that I apply to USC and getting my application in like the last day I could.
Nice.
And got in. And then was really, I think I had to eventually transfer into the film school because it's pretty difficult to get in.
Yeah.
I just fell in love even more so with cinema and movies and the whole industry.
Oh, that's awesome. So so obviously you went from like performing, that kind of thing, and then you're like, you know what? I'm majoring in film. Like that's as creative as it gets.
Yeah.
How was your experience in USC studying film there?
It was great. Man, it feels like so long ago.
Yeah.
But it was just like such a specific and unique opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
To study film in a way where people are like so incredibly passionate about movie making and cinema, that in a way that like I had never looked at film before. And my major was like, there's a few different majors within the film school. One was like production, like making movies, which is what I kind of wanted to do, but I ended up in sort of the more general studies major, which is it's called critical studies. So it's almost like analyzing film. So I ended up watching so many movies.
Yeah, I bet.
And just learning so much about what goes into them and, breaking them down. I remember my favorite class, I think, was one called, it was like a Hitchcock survey class. And I think I watched every single one of Hitchcock's films.
Nice.
And it was just, it was really such a unique opportunity that I'm grateful to have had.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just met a lot of great people from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That are, all doing their own kind of thing out in LA. A lot of them stay and, where they're writers, they're other, so many different fields that you could be. But I still keep in touch with a few of them, and it's a great opportunity and really wonderful experience for sure.
Yeah, and that's really cool too. Studying film in LA. This is the place you got to be.
Yeah, and like a lot of other cool things, just sort of being a part of the alumni association, like going to screenings and stuff was really cool. And I remember the first time I got like invited to one, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get to see like that movie Sex Tape with Cameron Diaz and Jason Segel 1 week early.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that movie. But
wasn't great.
I like Cameron Diaz and Jason Segel.
Yeah.
They're both fun.
Yeah. That was
Fiona, to bring it back to Shrek.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
It's all Shrek. Yeah. That's pretty cool, though. Screenings are a fun thing to do.
For
Definitely
sure.
a hit a living here. So during your time at USC, I know I've talked to a few folks who attended USC and did some improv at USC. Was that something you were into at all, or were you focused? You're like, I'm in film. I'm filming right now.
Yeah, I wasn't. I don't think I knew about the improv teams until probably like after I graduated. And it's one thing that I don't want to say like I regret because I enjoyed my time there, but there's some really funny people to have done this, done stuff there, and I just like didn't ever think about improv. It just like wasn't on my radar. So like Cometus Interruptus, I know is a big one that's on there that like a lot of my favorite SNL alumni had been in at USC.
Yeah.
And I know Ava was in one who's I perform with regularly.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's one thing I totally missed on. But I had gone back and seen some shows after I graduated, like as I was a recent grad. And yeah, there's really funny people. And luckily, like I discovered improv shortly after college, but it would have been, I would think, a great opportunity to have done it there.
All right. So you graduate USC, film major, like boom, done, dusted, got that finished. Flash forward to 2014. You're like, yo, Rumi, let's do something in LA. Because we live here, and we might move or something. Who knows? Because you were thinking about grad school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take an acting improv class kind of thing. Go on Yelp.
Did you get a transcript of our conversation?
Yeah.
That's exactly how it went.
Yeah. Go on Yelp. And I think, verbatim too, probably to that conversation. Yeah. Yo, Rumi. Because that's what you sound like.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
And you find this place. Mm-hmm. And you said one of your first things you did was a monologue about pretzels.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, I was applying to law schools at the time, and I think I had gotten into a few, maybe somewhere in New York, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to go to New York.
Yeah, you didn't know.
Yeah, so I was like, heck it, let's do something. And I kind of wanted to do like a dramatic something at the time.
Yeah, sure.
Because I thought that like that's so LA.
That's what you do.
Yeah. But then my roommate kind of was proactive and found this class called Improv for the People. And I remember talking to Matt on the phone. He's like, yeah, come by. You and your friend can come by and audit a class. So we audited one that was upstairs at the old theater. And it was like 12 people or so. Matt was the teacher. And as an auditor, I'm just sort of like participating in maybe the warm-ups.
Yeah.
And like the daily question. But then he's like, I'm going to get you involved. And I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
And then he eventually had my friend and I do sort of like a quick monologue about like a topic of, that someone selected.
Yeah.
And all I remember is I put on a character sort of like this. And I was talking about freeways and how they sort of go back and forth like pretzels. And that's all.
Good.
That's all I remember. But I was like, that was invigorating and silly.
Yeah.
And I'm down to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what a way. You're like, oh, I can do more of this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was such a good sort of, my friend was working a full-time job at the time and, kind of burnt out by same sort of routine.
Yep.
And like we were sort of looking for a larger community because like after having graduated college, you kind of go from having all your buds around all the time to like just you and your friend.
Yep.
Or you and no one.
Scatters. And
yeah.
Even if you're in the same city, it can still be hard to see people.
Yeah. And I think LA it can be hard too because it's like pretty lonely if you don't have a community built around you because it's like you're always you're in your car, you're at work, you're home.
Yep.
So we joined like a flag football league and that was fun for a bit, but we just didn't really meet any great friends there for whatever reason. And then we found improv and then just after joining classes, like immediately made friends so quickly just with all these people that were willing to be vulnerable and like really get to know them quickly because improv can offer you that ability to just communicate with people on a different level and open up yourself in a way that's like you're willing to meet people quickly and trust them. So we just quickly made friends and had that community around us. And it was just like a really great opportunity that presented itself.
Yeah, that's awesome. So in those first, like, let's say weeks, months of classes, it seemed after that first class you audited, you bought in pretty quick. Mm-hmm. So do you remember kind of what your experience was like or how you felt about the whole thing just in those early days?
Yeah. I remember like I probably take class for like a few months and then I think I took a little bit of I think I traveled a little bit before and went home for a little while because I knew I was going to start grad school. And then I remember grad school was so busy, but I kept up classes because it was like this, just every time I took a Monday class because like after, hours of class going and doing improv, even though it like required energy, it was just such a different use of my brain and just such like a cathartic release. So I just remember looking at improv at that time, not so much as like I want to be funny and I want to be a good actor. It's just like, I want to like have fun playing with these people. And then probably like a few months in, Matt put on a show at like, I think it was called the Promenade Playhouse or something, and on 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica.
Oh, okay.
It's my first time performing in a show.
Wow.
And at that time, like before then, I think just performing was fun. It was a release, like I said. It was a way to get out of my head. But then when I performed on stage, I was like, it was like being back in that high school sort of setting of performing in front of people and really just feeling the energy that comes with live performance. And I feel like after that first show, I was like sort of hooked and performing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was in a scene with two friends, and I think the premise was like, I could only ask questions.
Yeah.
Someone could only say the word onion. That happened to be the word. It wasn't always going to be onion.
Yeah.
And then another performer could speak, like whatever. They could.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of burden on the one performer that could speak anything, because he kind of has to make sense of us two goofballs.
Yeah, justify.
And I was the one that could only ask questions. So then the one performer was just like setting everything up, and the other performer just kept saying onion. and I remember eventually there was just a large period of silence, and I look at both of them, and I point to the onion guy, and I go like, what the hell's his deal? Something like that. And it just got like a large pop. And after that, I was like, this is so silly and fun. I just want to keep doing this.
Like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I'm in. Yeah. So at that point, I mean, the opportunity of like you're working through classes, and then you get to do a show. It's such a fulfilling moment.
Totally.
It's like, okay, like Matt's seen the work I've been putting in and seen that I've grown in this, and now I get a chance to share that with an audience.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. It's very rewarding. And that's another thing that's cool about improv, almost like what I said about coffee, is like, if you don't want to perform, there's still so much to gain from doing improv classes.
Yeah, it's not just about performing.
Right.
It's one aspect of it.
Right.
Yeah. Do you think getting up to do a scene in class or doing a scene in a show is harder? Or which one do you think is more difficult, I guess?
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
In a weird way, I think maybe in class is harder, because a lot of the time you're performing for other improvisers and they've seen almost everything. But at the same time, everyone is so supportive that you're always going to feel comfortable doing either. But performing in front of a show, in front of people that are just like so enamored with the fact that you're making it up off the top of your head is also like, it's not very nerve-wracking in that way, because you feel so supported by your castmates too.
Yeah.
So ironically, I think the hardest would be, which I've done a bunch around LA, is like performing at shows where everyone is just another improv team.
Yeah.
And that's the majority of indie shows around the city. And what's worse is performing for stand-up comics is also really hard, because they don't laugh at anything.
Nah.
Yeah.
They don't want to see you.
Yeah, they're like, can I do my 5? Go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I do my 5? How was my 5? Did you like my 5?
Can I go home now?
All right. Yeah. Those are might be the two worst audiences: an open mic.
Oh yeah. So
and then, an improv indie show. Or no audience. That's also
I've done that once too.
Oof.
We our indie improv team that we do a lot of shows with. I think this pre-pandemic, like we were booked for a show, and for some reason I think the other team that was supposed to perform canceled. So then at the end they're like, well, the host team's like, we'll still put on the show. And then the show was just like one of the cast members' boyfriends. So we performed like, I think, a 45-minute set for one dude. And I'm like, we could have just gone home.
And he's the boyfriend, so it's like
he's like, I gotta laugh, but like I can't.
Huh, that's funny, babe.
You're killing it, girl.
You're my favorite. You're my favorite improviser.
I'll see you home, and I love you, baby.
I once, when I was in college, I did an acting program, and we used to do like school shows where we'd invite like local schools to come out and sit in the theater, watch us do our show. But it would be at like a Thursday morning at like 10 a.m.
Thursday morning.
I know.
That's very weird.
I was like, we're college students. We don't want to perform a musical at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
So this one time we were doing Pippin.
Okay.
I don't know if you know that show.
I don't think so, but I know the name.
Yeah. Big musical from the 70s. I like it. Matthew Moore hates it, and he hates whenever I bring it up. But I love Pippin. Anyway, it was a similar scenario. Something happened with a school that was supposed to come visit.
Oh, no.
So I don't know how, but like 6 kids show up. So it's just a big old theater, 6 kids. The cast of the musical, was like 40 people or whatever. It's just, you're doing the full thing, 10 in the morning on a Thursday.
That's hard because you like really got to commit.
Yeah. And that show we did like part of the element that we kind of built in was like a bit of audience interaction too, it was like a circus setting. So like at one point I was going around on stilts and it's just like, and there's 6 like high school kids. Like, it was a disaster.
That's like the epitome of the show must go on.
Yeah.
It's 6 high school kids, but the man will be wearing stilts.
Yep. And I was walking around. Oh, gosh, that was rough.
I love that.
Don't you hate that? Yeah. When that happens, I was like, we shouldn't be doing this musical right now. So there's no one here.
And then it's just like too late. And you're like, well,
yeah, we said we're going to do it.
We're going to do it.
There are people here.
Yeah. You can't tell them to go home.
Yeah. There were supposed to be more. I think it was a bus problem. That's what it was.
That's the worst.
So it's just like, I don't know how, I can't even remember. This was like 10 years ago. So, oh, yikes. That was
rough. But if you perform that and you make it out alive at the same time, I feel like you could do anything.
Yeah, that's true. Because it was just like silence. Like, wow, there's 2 people clapping.
Yeah. I did have one time at a show. It was like a relatively crowded theater, but we were getting our suggested, and this one dude who was clearly had too much to drink was just dead asleep.
Oh. And it's like, it's not even personal. He's just he's just been drinking. Yeah.
At least that's what I like to think. Hopefully he wasn't like completely like sober and just like, this stinks.
He's like, oh, these guys. Yeah, just knocks out. Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't drink. He's
just ready to pass out at any time's notice.
He just really wanted to share his opinion. All right. So going back to your IFTP days. So you started as a student and you were taking classes and developing. At what point did that kind of opportunity arise for you to teach? Or what did that transition look like, I guess?
Yeah. I think I was probably performing, and man, I was probably a student for at least like 3-ish years. I think toward the end of my stint at grad school is when Matt sort of met with me and was like, do you have any interest in teaching? And I said that I did, and we would begin sort of enrolling students and see if we could find enough to give me a class.
Yeah.
And I think it probably took a little bit because I had 2 other friends that I think were teaching at the time, one being Ava and my friend Brian, who was teaching a class. So I think it was like the 4th or 5th IFTP class. So it took a little while to get the numbers up. But
yeah, still growing.
Yeah, in a few months, I think I had my own for a limited amount of time because I knew it was going to be short because I had like accepted a job in like 8 months later or something. So I ran a class for probably about like 8 months and I can't remember the day of the week, but it was like an intro level class.
Yeah.
And it was a lot harder, I think, than I expected because I'd been sort of lucky enough to just learn from this great teacher that I never thought about the work that I had to put in as a teacher.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think I learned a lot about improv from doing it, and a lot of like patience, and there's just teaching is one of those things that you just learn as much from your students as they learn from you. So I think it was a good stint, and I learned a lot, but it was challenging for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I think too, it's like you said, you learn more being on that side of things because you're watching so much improv. You have to be critical and you have to give feedback. So you're always on the lookout. You're trying to notice things. And that can be important when it comes back to your own work because you need to be able to observe that about yourself.
Right.
If you're working on getting better, or, yes-anding, whatever you're trying to work on, your characters, your initiations, how you deal with who, what, where, the game of a scene, whatever that is. Like teaching can really help you build that
for sure
reflective skill. I think.
Yeah. And I think the part that was especially challenging for me that I really began to appreciate about especially Matt and the other teachers at IFTP was just bringing the energy. Because I'm, like I said kind of earlier, I'm like a little bit more of an introverted, heady person. Yeah. And if you don't have, especially if you have new students that haven't done much improv, they really rely on you for that energy. And it was just something for me that was like, I really was enjoying my time there and it was really fun, but it's hard for me to give out that energy like consistently the same way that Matt does. And Matt just is sort of like that presence that you just want to be there and you want to have fun and goof off. So I think it was hard for me to generate that from not having done it before, really. But I think eventually I got there.
Yeah.
But it just takes a lot out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah. Teaching is, well, because you are like the heart and soul of that class.
Exactly.
You keep it moving.
Right.
You end scenes, like you got to be on the whole time.
Right.
And you got to get everybody like, yeah, improv.
Exactly.
Especially like, yay, Thursday night. And
Especially if it's like, I remember I had one time I had a class of like all auditors or like new auditors.
Oh,
so
man.
Some of them were like, do I even like want to be here?
Yeah. You're like, you haven't even bought in yet. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the hardest part, I think, for me. But I really enjoyed, getting to see improv and give my 2 cents about what I think works and doesn't work. And I think after that, after I sort of didn't have the numbers to have the class, or I got busy enough where I couldn't put on a class full time, I subbed every once in a while for Matt, and
nice.
That was also really fun because I think getting to work with students of different levels, it was fun to
less pressure.
Yeah. From going from like beginners and auditors to people who've been doing improv for a while, it was on one hand it was harder because I think they're really good improvisers. Like, do I have that much to say to them? But at the other hand, it was like what was easier was they're already excited to be here and to be doing it.
Yeah, they're invested.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I used to coach tennis, and that was like a similar thing I had where I was like, the beginners were the hardest for me because a lot of them didn't want to be there. And the more advanced students, or even the ones that were younger and maybe beginners that just like were really excited to play, was what really made it easier on me.
That's really cool. Yeah, and I think, subbing's fun because you're just popping in. You're like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
Andrew.
I'm different.
I'm different. You may not know me, but I know you.
I know a thing or two, I think.
Yeah, it's just come in, like, do your thing, like, leave an impression.
Yeah.
Peace out. If it didn't go well, not my class.
Don't have to see me again.
Yeah. Like, oh, blame Ava. Sorry, Ava.
It was all,
she gave me the lesson.
it was her lesson plan.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So you were at IFTP. You were teaching. You were doing some subbing. What came after that? Because I know there was a journey after that.
Yeah, there's a pretty lengthy journey.
Yeah.
Studied at another improv school for, like 7 years, and I'd recently finished up, like as of 2023.
Okay. Wow. Nice.
And after going through all their levels of improv and sketch writing, and it was a different experience than IFTP.
Yeah.
Mostly because IFTP is, I think, just a community of people that want to have fun and support each other and learn and grow. Whereas the other program is much more cutthroat, and it's about mostly actors, professional actors.
Yeah.
Not all, but mostly. It's very competitive. And in one way, I felt like I was pretty equipped for that, having just done grad school that was very competitive as well. And although I don't like to think I'm a competitive person, there's a sort of like thrill of it, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
And then that ended in probably July of 2023 after I put on, a few shows at their theater. And then although I didn't, get the end result I wanted, I think I learned a lot, especially about writing sketch. And didn't really know where to go from there because I'd put my eggs in that basket for like 7 years.
Yeah.
So during that time, though, it was, as I mentioned, I started uploading stuff to Instagram.
Yeah.
And that's when that one video that I had sort of took off about, it was like two guys that are like talking about coffee. And they're like, one guy describes coffee in this way that's like really elaborate. And the other guy goes like, it tastes like coffee. Which is a video that I thought was silly, but I do like, because it's like so simple.
Yeah.
And it just garnered a lot of views, and then sort of had a little following grow from that. That's been a lot of fun to develop that. And I'm not sure, I just want to continue making sketch and little funny things that I really enjoy. Yeah. And then after that too, I've been, working with a commercial agent, trying to do a little bit of acting, but at the end of the day, I don't know if it's what I love. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing too.
Yeah, that's a
commercial
different piece.
auditions and
Yeah. Self-tapes.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
That's all it is now.
Yeah. I stink at them too, I think.
Yeah. Not my favorite. I think I don't know that I'm good at any type of audition I've found in person. Self-tape. Really? I don't know. It's been tough. I've been out of it a little bit, but
okay. I don't. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much I'm in it right now. I'm like kind of over it almost already.
Yeah.
Mostly like, because if I'm gonna do acting, I want to. It's like I really want to do stuff that I like, which is hard because like it's not an industry where they're like, you can. Why don't you write it?
Yeah. And if you're in the early stages of your career, everything you're auditioning for sucks.
Oh, yeah.
You're just auditioning because you have to.
Exactly.
If you ever want to get anywhere.
Yeah. So, like, occasionally you get, like, an audition for a commercial. Like, this is kind of silly and fun, and I like this.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time it's like, can you just walk up to the camera and smile and nod and clap? And I'm like, oh, wow. Like, am I really going to take a whole day off to, like, do this for, like, $250?
Yep. Sorry, your clap just wasn't genuine enough for what we're looking for Progressive, but thanks for coming in. Yeah. Well, you don't even hear anything, actually.
No, you're just ghosted.
No, you just submit a video. It goes to someone you'll never meet or see.
Yep.
That's it.
And then it's gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. My friend and we did like a 2-person audition for a Taco Bell commercial. And we really thought, oh man, I thought we had it. It was a self-tape.
But we had potential to be fun.
We had a lot of fun with it. And
good.
Nope.
Did you get a callback or?
Well, I was so frustrated because the casting agent like featured it on her Instagram page. She was like, yo, check out this self-tape I got.
Can they do that?
Yeah. Well, that's what she does. Her whole page, she'll post like auditions she gets that she likes. So we were like, oh, she featured us. No, didn't book.
That's wild.
Yeah, I was like, this sucks.
I was so
like,
mad. I'd be like, well, don't feature me then. Like, I didn't give you the right to do that.
Yeah, I was like, people can't learn from us. We didn't get it. Like,
really not a good
this is just
example.
Another audition in a long line of auditions. Like we didn't get it. Like
my favorite one that
we were mad. Yeah,
my favorite one that I had was for Manscaped.
Oh, yeah.
And because it was like so stupid, but I'm like, it's like it's got a voice.
Yeah.
So it was an in-person one, and I did book a callback for it, which was cool. And I was just like, you got to read it with a partner, but like the concept was really weird. It was like a bald guy, and a guy was going to end up having a crew cut, and they're just talking about like hairy versus smooth, and they kept being like, "Are you willing to shave your head?" And I was like, well, there's like 80 bald guys here that don't need to shave their head, so I prefer not to.
Yeah.
But it was a fun little, again, like because I had such a specific weird point of view, it was fun to partake in. But otherwise, most of them are just like, you do them, you forget about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it goes. Oh. Wild. All right. So you're doing this other program, and I know you've done some indie improv too, right? You've been doing that.
Yeah. We have a team of 5 called Dr. Professor.
Oh.
And
yeah, I know Ava.
Yeah. Ava's
okay.
On it. Yeah.
I think I did a show with you guys once.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You were at our show. You played with IFTP.
I did not do well, but I was
no,
like,
I remember now. It was great.
I
feel like I had met you once.
Yeah. I was gonna say, oh man, okay, yeah, that was like around. It was like December last year.
It was probably like
December
a solid
2022.
year ago.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, at the clubhouse.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's with Ava and 3 of our other friends.
Yeah, I like you
met.
guys. You guys were fun.
Thank you. You guys are
was
great
a fun
too.
Show.
We'll have to have you back soon.
Yeah.
You guys are great. But
it was a good time.
Yeah, it's just like 5 of us. So at some point I have a good little tidbit.
Yeah.
So at IFTP, for the most part, I think until 2015, 2016, I'd been doing mostly like short form improv.
Yeah.
So for, Matt would all the scenes would be like relatively 5 minutes at the longest. So a premise would be established or a game or what have you, and we would do the scene. And then on I think probably my second or third date with my now wife, we went and we saw an improv variety. It may have been like a variety comedy show at the West Side Comedy Theater.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then the second group or like some act was a long form improv troupe, which I don't think I'd ever seen long form improv. And then these guys were just like, I thought it was the funniest thing on the planet. And I was like, they just keep going. And I was like, I want to do that. Like, I want to build these long scenes that we can just play in forever. And then eventually, I don't know if I had talked to Matt or whatever, but we started doing more of it with Matt and with my indie improv team, Dr. Professor. Like, I learned a lot from my friends because I hadn't done much long form improv, and then just completely fell in love with that. And I think that's probably where my heart lies now. That's like my favorite thing.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So like, I just love scenes where you can sort of play in and really invest in characters and their point of views and just hang in them for like 15 minutes.
Really build something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Short form, you don't have time for that, but long form,
right?
Like you said, let it breathe.
Right. It can go anywhere, and it's a really rewarding experience and it's like a team game. You know, like having your 3 or 4 castmates that you're performing with. You all work together to make something great, and it's just super fun.
Now, for those at home who maybe don't know, how do you start an indie improv team?
That's a great question.
What's that process look like? Yeah.
If you're lucky like me, you have a friend like Ava who's just like very forward thinking and very willing to get what she wants to happen. So she just like asked me and 2 other guys in our class at the time, like, do you guys want to like just perform together regularly and like have a team? And then we met after class once and just instantly had a rapport. And they're obviously still in the troupe today. Yeah. And we performed together all the time, and we just like got together and figured out like what we want to do. And it kind of went from there. So I think my recommendation would be just like, don't be afraid to talk to somebody about it and ask them, and just like somebody that you really like performing with, just say like, hey, like we should get together and do this more often. Because there are just more friendships to build outside of class. So luckily, like if you are a part of a class where that community is fostered, it's just easy to find people that also love improv as much as you do, and just say like, we should do this more often. Yeah. And then the cool thing about living in a city like LA is just there's random indie theaters that put on free shows all the time, and or if you want to do more performing, are willing to give you stage time. Yeah. And there's just like the Clubhouse and the Yard and other theaters, or just go on their like websites and see about their shows and if they are willing to put you up.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. Just like find some people you like, start doing some improv.
Yeah. We just start rehearsing and playing together and see what comes of it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did y'all like develop kind of your own long form format? You keep it pretty open?
Yeah, we've gone back and forth on this a lot in the past, but I think one that we've stuck with for a while, and I think maybe we're moving away from lately, is like kind of staying in one specific location, like a Lowe's or like Disneyland, and just sort of playing as characters that would occupy that space, like the janitor to a salesman to a manager. But lately we've been doing a little more free form, like it just goes anywhere. Yeah. Yeah. But there's a million different improv forms out there that we've messed around with, some with success, some with very limited success.
Hey, that's the point though, right? Yeah. You don't know if it's going to work until you try it.
Right. We did this one, I forget how we learned about it, but it was like, the thought was like, you do one scene and then you do the scene again, but you change one choice and you see where that takes you. And then you do the scene again. It's called like detours. And they do the scene again with like 2 different choices. And it was fun when we did it, but when you do it for the first time in front of an audience that I think is really expecting sort of the same, everyone sort of does the same run of scenes kind of thing. They're like, what the heck is going on?
Like, wait, they're doing it again. I already seen this. Boo. Yeah. Get them out of here.
Yeah, so I didn't love that one because I think it felt limiting.
I could see that, being hard for an audience too. I think audiences aren't always willing to like buy into, I guess, almost a more philosophical like improv approach. So that's they are not forgiving sometimes.
No, I don't think it resonated with them very much.
I like the idea though. That sounds fun to try.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think we did it because we did a show where they like gave you a random form and they said do it, and then that was our form that we were assigned. And then I guess we had like a decent show that time.
All right. What team do we want to screw over today? Let's get these guys. Doctor instructor, I think.
Close enough. Just call them up.
Yeah. Pediatrician, psychiatrist. Yeah. Give them this.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, then you handled it well. I think you yes-anded it, and you went up there.
We rolled with it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Andrew,
Yes.
I got a couple more questions for you, and then we're going to do some improv.
Sounds good.
So my last two questions, both doozies. Second and last. Let's do this. What do you think has been the impact of improv in your life? Both in like your creative pursuits, could be your personal or professional life. It's a very broad question.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. And I think we covered a little bit about the creative stuff. So like coming in from a different angle, I think probably the thing I'm most grateful for is just like in the past, I'm someone who struggled with anxiety, rumination, those kinds of things. And I think really like improv has been immensely helpful in breaking me out of those patterns of thinking and just really helping me get out of my head and have fun. And I think that's what I'll be forever grateful for is this like, I remember just going through hard, like I mentioned before, I think the transitionary period after college was really hard for me.
Yeah. It's tough
and I've had other hard moments since then, but just having that space to be free to say whatever, do whatever, have fun, has been like immensely helpful in my life. And obviously there's other benefits too, like whether it's just helping you be a better listener, a better at thinking on your feet is what people always say, which has some truth to it. But I think it's just that. And I think the other thing has just been, it's been giving me like some of the best friends I have that I would have never met had I not been for IFTP, like Ava and Matt. Like we, I don't see how I would have met them had it not been for this community.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're pretty good folks, I guess.
I like them a little bit.
Yeah, well, but they're okay. Both been on the show.
Yeah. I listened to, I think, both of their episodes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Stuff. Yeah. Oh, one quick thing I had to add.
Yeah.
I forgot to say at the top is I think maybe on Matt and Jonathan's episode, but I think you mentioned flavor blasted Cheez-It or Goldfish.
Yeah.
As a go-to snack. And I was
wow.
like, as I was listening, you were like 3 snacks. And then in my head, I was like flavor blasted Goldfish. And at the same time, you were like flavor blasted Goldfish.
Finally.
And I was like, this guy.
A guest of taste.
This guy gets it.
Yeah, they're so good.
So I would eat like half a bag of them when I got home from middle school.
I wish I had some at home right now. I don't.
I can't. I tell my wife not to buy them because I'll go crazy.
Yeah, they can't be in the house.
Do you like the extra cheddar or pizza?
I gotta say extra cheddar. I like both.
Extra cheddar was mine.
Extra cheddar. Yeah. Just because if I want pizza, I'm gonna eat pizza.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
Yeah.
Extra cheddar. Oh.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Oh. The best fish is a goldfish.
I honestly kind of agree.
Yeah. Well, Swedish fish is pretty good. Nah, but I still pick goldfish.
I would too. I like Swedish fish, but
yeah. All right. I think that is. Yeah. Thank you for sharing impact of improv. So my last question for you. Looking ahead, it's 2024. It's very early. Today's January 8th. We've got a lot of year in front of us. Is there anything that you're hoping to work on, accomplish, goals related to comedy, writing, performing that you have for this year? Just looking ahead.
Yeah, I want to.
What are you working on?
What am I working on?
Yeah.
Been writing a lot more with one of my buddies. I would really love to just continue, like to have a good sample of scripts, like spec scripts.
Yeah, of course.
We're writing a sitcom together.
Nice.
So yeah, I'd love to be more involved with IFTP again. Having taken classes again and been in a few shows. I performed with Matt and company in the end of December.
Dysfunctional Family Christmas,
yes.
right?
Yeah, it was
very nice.
So much fun. And I had the pleasure of performing with Wayne Brady, Mindy Sterling, Jonathan Mangum. Truly an unbelievable experience. So just love to be a part of a bigger part of this community and maybe teach a workshop or something. If Matt will let me. Matt will let me mold some minds. But yeah, just continue to hopefully, make stuff on the internet or elsewhere that people continue to resonate with and continue to drink good coffee.
Yeah. Ooh, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Priority one.
Yeah.
Priority one.
Yeah.
Okay, I lied. I do have one more question for
Sure.
you. This is so I know what I appreciated looking at your Instagram is that you seem to volume is an important thing. I think when working on social media.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Because that's the hard part. It's challenging. So would you say, do you have a regular upload schedule or are you sporadic?
Yeah, I'm trying to work on that to have like specific days, but I would say like mostly on Instagram, probably like Wednesdays is when I upload stuff, maybe, and then maybe a meme or two on. It's also challenging not to get too into the weeds, but like my Instagram, the people that follow me on Instagram tend to really just like the coffee stuff, which is fine because that's sort of like the what I've been building toward.
Yeah.
So that gets harder because it's like a specific amount of things I got to think about.
Yeah.
In order to post something that'll fit within that sort of demographic of material. Yeah. Whereas like YouTube or TikTok is sort of like the Wild West where I just kind of throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. So I try to upload, I would say like on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I feel like is when I generally have stuff to share. I think I have one coming out tomorrow.
Well, on a Tuesday?
Yes, on a Tuesday.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm more
just check back.
I'm more of a Wednesday guy myself.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't know. All right. Well, this podcast will come out on a Wednesday. So.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
That's your day.
Yeah.
It's your day.
That's perfect.
Oh, okay, cool. I was just asking because last year at the beginning of the year, I was like, I'm going to try and upload some videos. And then I did. It was like once a month. And then I just really petered out after the summer.
Was it on Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, but like all the same video.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Do the shorts, the reels, TikTok. And
have you ever seen those poll questions on YouTube?
Yeah.
I saw one that intrigued me that was like, on which platform are people the meanest? And I was like, that's a good question. Yeah. Can I say like everywhere?
Yeah, it's like the internet. That's what platform. Yeah. One thing I think I should try and bring it back. I think I did it like 2 times. I was like Fit Fridays, and then I'd make a stupid like exclusive shoe. Like I did, Bobby Fischer.
Why do I know that name?
Famous chess player.
Yeah, I was gonna say the chess player.
Yeah, I did like a Bobby Fischer Nike collab. It was like, but it was so dumb. I was like, nobody likes this. I was like, this is too stupid. I don't know why I thought of it.
That's the worst. Is when some of my favorite things I've ever made are the things that people don't connect with. I mean, just whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. The shoe said "Rest in peace, King." I'm like, it's a chess joke. Like, no,
that's really good.
Nobody cared. Yeah.
I'm all about the. I love weird stuff. Yeah. Like I think I alluded to it earlier, but like one other thing that got me into sketch comedy specifically was like Good Neighbor stuff. Have you ever seen their old YouTube videos?
Bit, yeah.
And Kyle and Beck would go on to be on SNL.
Yeah, he did all right. Yeah,
yeah, but their comedy in like 2012 or whatever, they're uploading all that stuff is like just so funny to me. Just like those really specific and weird characters is what I really love.
I'm gonna give you such a random tangent related to Kyle Mooney.
Sure.
I have 2 Kyle Mooney tangents. Personal experience.
Yeah.
I once rode a train with him.
Oh, heck yeah. They're from San Diego?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's from San Diego.
Yeah, and my dad has worked with his dad. Oh. I'm not going to say what field, but they have worked together on something.
That's awesome.
It's like totally, and I was like, whoa, I'm Kyle Mooney adjacent.
Did you have the nerve to say anything or no?
No, I thought about it.
And then I was like, no, I can't. Hard predicaments.
I can't. I don't want to be that guy.
I'm terrible at it because I saw one time it like Matt Leinart at a gym.
Oh yeah,
football player.
Oh yeah.
And I had nothing.
USC. I mean,
yeah. And I was like, my wife was there, and I was just like, she was like, go say something. I was like, no, I'm not gonna. And then my wife just goes up and was like, are you Matt Leinart? And she was like, my husband wants to take a picture with you or something. Oh, so I got one, but she's. Yeah. Way better about it because she's like respectful and knows how to do it in a way where I would just be awkward and be like, I
had a bad moment. Okay, you know Sean Evans?
Yeah,
I've been told I look like Sean Evans.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and I was at a Chargers game recently, and Sean Evans was also at the Chargers game because he's a Chargers fan.
Oh, is he from like Chicago?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I don't get why he's a Chargers fan.
Yeah, it's because it's like, a specific franchise.
Yeah, why? Just because you live in LA now, I guess. Yeah, that's where you shoot hot ones.
I thought that was in New York. Sorry, so many tangents.
Yeah, well, I think it's in LA because he does stuff with the team.
Okay,
like exclusive Chargers stuff all the time.
I have seen that.
Yeah,
a collab with Easton Stick.
Yeah, Easton Stick. Yeah,
and Justin Herbert.
Yeah, he's had a few folks come on, and he like at the game we were talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, Michael, you look so much like Sean Evans from Hot Ones. Oh, you should do it as a Halloween costume." Like,
what is that Halloween costume? Just you and like a jacket?
My wife is gonna dress up as the chicken wing, and then, or like a bottle of hot sauce or something, and then I'll be Sean Evans. Just I don't know.
Need that context.
Yeah,
I
just
think, though.
look up a video and pick one of his outfits. Maybe we just wear a Hot Ones t-shirt.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That would help. And then at the end of the game, Chargers lost. Everybody's leaving, and we run into him exiting the stadium.
Oh my gosh!
And I just froze up. Like we were just walking by him, everybody's trying to get to their cars. And all I said was, you, me. And then he looked at me so confused. And then that's it. And then he like fist bumped me as we passed. But like he didn't look happy about it. Yeah. I think because the Chargers lost. Mm-hmm. And then I just say something real weird to him.
You, me?
Yeah, like I couldn't, because all I thought was, that guy looks like me. I looked like that guy. Because that's all we had been talking about.
Yeah, that would get in my head too.
Yeah, so I've thought about it a lot.
Especially if you're like, you have that limited sort of recognition, like you're passing, and I'm like,
yeah, because I couldn't believe we were seeing him, after all that talk. And, he's on like the, who's in the house today for the game? And it's like, Sean Evans, blah, 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 from Hot Ones. And I've done like the Hot Ones challenge at home, so I'm a fan, yeah.
Okay, yeah, me too. I haven't done the challenge at home because I think I would do horribly.
You got to try it. It's a lot of fun.
Dude, I am not good with spice. You know how you always ask that at the top?
Yeah.
I'd be like, I should probably leave.
Yeah.
if I were to ever be on this show.
We, me and a couple friends, we did it just like, and we filmed it too. I haven't seen any of the footage. But
I got to see this.
But we just bought the kit, did it.
Do you fry the wings and put them on yourself?
We ordered a bunch of unseasoned wings from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, cool.
So we were very lazy.
Yeah.
I mean, just sauced them as we went.
The right equipment to cook.
Yeah.
Wings.
Yeah. So we didn't have to.
Yeah.
So it was just like, like DoorDash them or whatever. Like it was a lot of wings too.
That's awesome.
It was like 40 wings. I think we ordered.
The Da Bomb or whatever, like super.
That was the worst one. Yeah. It was worse than the level 10. Oof. Yeah. That was after that. Like we did the 10 and we were like, okay.
Yeah. After you've gone to hell, you can like relax a little bit.
Then we had a pint of ice cream waiting for us
at
the end. And we were both like, all of us were like, yeah, ice cream. It was fun though.
I have this memory of like, we were out like one night in like West Hollywood and at some taco place. And the guy asked me, he's like, on a level of like 1 to 10, what do you want your spice to be? And I was like 3. And he gave it to me and I was like hiccuping and dying. I think that guy messed with me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that bad.
Yeah.
But I'd be like panicked. I think I get my lips burn and I get hiccupy.
Yeah, I understand. Actually, I don't. That doesn't happen to me. But I know people that happens to. Yeah. I don't know how, because all my family, they're not big spice people. And then somehow I ended up being into spicy stuff. Doesn't make sense.
Somewhere along the line you trained, maybe without knowing it.
It's just like I liked hot tamales as a candy. Not that those are that spicy, but maybe that got me started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you like equipped to handle.
Yeah. And then it was like, what else is there?
You ever done like the spicy ramen? I think that's the hardest.
Oh yeah. Spicy ramen is good. Or like pho.
Yeah.
Can get pretty spicy. Yeah. Spicy ramen, definitely. Or like, I can't even think. Yeah.
You been to Howlin' Ray's?
Oh yeah.
We just got that the other day.
Oh, I love it.
Because there's one in Pasadena.
Yeah.
Now. So now the lines at each aren't
you can
as
like
long.
go online and check how long the line is on Twitter. I think they post it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. We waited like probably an hour, but it's so good.
It is. That's one of the places I'd say it's actually worth it.
I was going to say the same. Yeah. I think it's worth waiting.
Of the hot chicken places in LA, again, this is LA exclusive. I've never been to Nashville. I don't know how they do the chicken out there. I'm sure it's very good because that's where it comes from.
Yeah, I was in Nashville recently and had Hattie B's, and I'll say it was also really good.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. What you were saying.
Howlin' Ray's is worth it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I wouldn't do it all the time, but
no.
If you're in a like food mood that you're like, I'm willing to commit to however long to get like this very specific fried chicken sandwich, it's definitely worth it.
It's good. The fries are good. Everything's good there. Sauce is good.
Yeah.
There's not a bad item on the menu. They had Adidas shoes. They did.
Really?
Yeah. They had a Howlin' Ray's Adidas collab.
That's a sick collab.
I think it was like, one of those like, I'm just dropping, now you can buy them like resale, I'm sure, but.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Are you a sneaker guy?
Loosely. I can't afford to be, but I definitely keep my eye on it. And I like shoes. Like I'm wearing the worst example of that. These are like shoes I wear to work that are like, don't look so good. But on the weekend, you know, I like shoes,
Cool.
but
I always wish I knew more than I do, but like it's another hobby. Like my wife always says I have like a million hobbies.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't get another one.
Yeah.
Like I have too many.
Yeah, too many. You got to drop one, pick up
Yeah,
another.
exactly.
Yeah. Right now it's coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Probably like golf, other stuff I do.
Yeah.
Takes too much time.
Coffee's the best one. Let's stick with coffee.
Yeah.
All right. You ready to do some improv, Andrew?
Born ready.
Well, we'll see about that.
Okay.
No. All right. So we have 3 games we're going to be playing tonight.
Okay.
This first game, and these games, you might have never played them before. You might have. These are kind of like amalgamations of existing improv games. That's the way I like to do it on here.
Love it.
All right. So this first game is called Impressionable.
There's a pun in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess. Yeah, I added a hyphen. It was fun. In this scene, I want you to pick one of the impressions that you do. Your choice.
Okay.
And I'll give you a moment. Pick that impression. Lock it in silently. Let me know when you got it. Don't tell me.
Okay, I got it. I'm going bold here, but I'm going to try it.
All right. So with this impression, you're going to be attending a therapy session as this character.
Okay.
As this impression. And so we're going to start. We're going to talk about something in therapy.
Am I the famous person in therapy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll be your therapist.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, well, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you in person, Mr.
Driver.
Oh, yes, Mr. Driver. Sorry, I just get so nervous. You know, I get a lot of
Famous clients.
famous clients. Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry. Before we start, can I ask you?
You're shaking.
Yeah, I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Oh.
Big Star Wars. Well, and a big Enzo Ferrari fan.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, and I loved House of Gucci.
It's one of my lesser known titles.
Yeah, well, I know it.
Appreciate that.
Sorry, it's unprofessional. Mr. Driver, I know you mentioned in your pre-session survey that you've been dealing with a lot of anxiety lately.
I have been. I've had dreams where I'm on Naboo and the queen is telling me that I need to execute younglings.
Oh. Mr. Driver, Naboo isn't real. You're not.
I know.
You're not a Sith. So we've got to identify why you're buying into these delusions in your dreams. Do you feel stressed at work?
I do.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel as though my worlds are becoming one.
I see. So you're having trouble kind of identifying or splitting up your time as Adam Driver and as Kylo Ren.
I dive so deeply into these roles that I feel as though I'm becoming them. That there's no longer a difference between Kylo Ren and Enzo Ferrari, Adam Driver, and the guy from 65.
Of course, yes. One of your also more popular roles,
Yes.
Guy from 65. Yes. That's frightening, Mr. Driver, but that's why we're here to talk about these things and help you differentiate between reality and your day job.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Driver, can I ask, do you have any weapons on you right now?
I have the lid of a salt shaker. Does that count as a weapon?
Only in the right hands.
Okay. Here.
Those aren't your hands, though. Don't worry. But I'll hang on to this.
Thank you.
Now, you mentioned in your dream a violent urge, but in these dreams, have you ever acted on any of these violent urges?
One time, when the dream was so vivid that I woke up, I found myself strangling my pillow.
See, and Mr. Driver, are you in a relationship? Are you with someone?
I am married.
Okay. And was it your pillow that you strangled, or your partner's pillow?
It was a throw pillow, a useless throw pillow.
Do you think a lot of things are useless, Mr. Driver?
I do. Throw pillows.
Okay.
Airbags. Scotch tape. Monkey bars.
Milky bars. Okay, those are things that have no correlation. It's gonna be hard.
Their correlation is they're useless.
I see. Yes. Well, to you, that's the correlation. Okay. Can you name for me, Mr. Driver, 3 things that you think are useful?
Pepper mills.
Yes. Good.
Compression socks.
Good, Mr. Driver.
Whoopee cushions.
So proud of you, Adam.
Thank you.
I know that must have been hard.
It was.
Now, this question may not make sense, but trust me, it'll tie back. How is your relationship with your mother?
It's good. She makes soup that I love.
How would you describe the soup?
It's good soup.
Blackout! I had to edit there. Oh, no. You knew what you were doing with that. You knew what you were doing. That's one of my favorites.
It's good soup.
It's like that one, and then the one where he's flipping out about the nachos. He's like, I'm going to eat some motherfucking nachos.
That was great.
It was like, oh, man. That and soup. It's like, those are great clips.
It's good soup.
Oh, man. I'd say that's a pretty good impression.
Thank you.
I was enjoying that. And
appreciate
it sounds like Mr. Driver has a lot to work through.
Yeah.
It's a lot to work through.
Sounds a little bit more like Kylo Ren than Adam Driver, I think, in that scenario. But
yeah, but you got to start somewhere. It's kind of like your anchor to get into Adam Driver.
He did 3 movies as him. That's substantial.
It's a lot of movies. Yeah. More movies than he's done as any other character.
Yeah.
He was in Girls. He had that character, right?
Yeah,
so
for
a lot of episodes.
Yeah, but it's different.
Yeah, it's different. That's
high fantasy.
Yeah. Girls? High fantasy?
No, Star Wars.
I was like, is it? I was like, it's in New York.
It's like different New York.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's true. That's true. Okay. All right. In this next game that we're gonna play, now I'm just thinking of HBO's Girls as a oh my gosh, as a high fantasy show.
That could work.
So in this next game, I'm going to give you a random object. I'll tell you what that object is in a moment.
Okay.
All right. It's a bottle of syrup. Mm-hmm. And you're going to describe to me, well, this object is haunted. Mm. So sorry to hear that. This bottle of syrup is haunted. And I want you to tell me how this bottle of syrup became haunted.
Okay. I have here a bottle of 1945 Mrs. Butterworth.
Yes, yeah, I'd love to put it on my waffles.
I know you would. I know, but this one is not for using.
What?
This one, we have others. I'll get you syrup. Don't worry about it. I need to tell you about it. This one in the meantime. I know your short stack is coming up.
Okay.
So don't worry. This bottle of Mrs. Butterworth came from the coal mines in central Pennsylvania.
Oh, I've heard of those.
Heard those? The one coal mine that's on fire still? The one that's still on fire?
What?
This is the one that they had down there with them when the coal mine erupted.
Oh my god!
They were eating French toast.
Oh.
And the coal miner director was putting it on his French toast.
Oh yeah.
When it began to erupt, the coal mine.
No.
And luckily, all the boys got out.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so there was no issue there, but they lost all the coal. And one guy, Davy Montgomery, all he was able to salvage was this bottle of Mrs. Butterworth.
Oh my gosh.
And to this day, if you listen, come here, put this face near your ear. Can you hear her singing the song that the coal miners would sing as they worked?
Yeah.
It went like this. It went, oh, the day is long. Oh, we sing this song. Oh, work till we're done. Oh, from the morning through the sun. That's the end of the song.
What a haunting melody.
Oh, it's very scary, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, your short stack's ready.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, I'm sorry. I ordered the blueberry waffles.
Oh, we're out of blueberries.
Oh, that's okay. It's all right. Okay, I have to ask, if I were to take that singing syrup and pour it on my waffles, it'd be fine, right?
I gotta be honest with you. The lid is sealed up from all the sugar. So you can pour and pour.
Because it's so old.
It's really old. 1945 was a good 80 years ago.
Yeah, but so not for any spiritual reasons.
No,
Nothing supernatural.
It's mostly just the song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not so bad.
You're gonna pay for that short stack, right?
I thought it was part of the tour of this Denny's museum.
You think every guy could just give away short stacks? I gotta make some money. The tour only costs $5.
Yeah, I thought that would cover the cost of the waffles at least.
Okay, fine. I'll comp the waffles because you're such a good listener.
Thank you. I sang the song with you.
You did.
I'm a good listener.
You did. I'm surprised you knew the lyrics already.
Well, I listened well to the bottle.
You did.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want you to take a picture with it.
You really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna just.
Oh no!
I'm trying to drink it.
Oh no! The spirits. The spirits of the coal miners are enrapturing you. Oh no!
so sticky.
Oh no! Your teeth are coming out of the mouth.
I'm burning like the mine.
Oh no! What a poor soul.
Blackout. Oh, what a disaster ending. My favorite moment was that song that we did.
Thank you.
That was really nice.
That was good.
Thank you for leading us.
Yeah, remember that. Remember those lyrics for next time.
Yeah. Heave ho. There's a lot of sun done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
This is something I learned from Wayne Brady. Don't pick words that are hard to rhyme.
Yeah. Hey, that's good advice.
Yeah.
When you're making it up, make it easy.
Make it easy for yourself.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no feedback there. But really nice job.
Thank you. You as well.
Creepy story.
Yeah.
So sad, too.
I don't know where that came from, but yeah.
Well, it came from history.
Have you heard of that town, by the way?
Pennsylvania?
There's some town in Pennsylvania that's still burning or something.
I didn't know that, but
it up.
That
It's
sounds like
interesting.
something that would be real.
From central coal miner PA.
Such a shame. Think of all the furnaces,
No.
all the trains that could have been powered by that coal.
It's a wild story.
It's a real shame.
Yeah.
Real shame. And I hope all the miners made it out there okay.
Me too. I don't know if it happened from a collapse or something. I think it might just be burning.
Yeah, someone
I think
dropped a
it's
match.
abandoned.
I would hope so. All right, guys. Today's the day we go in. Still burning. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
Try again tomorrow. They're waiting.
Yeah.
Why don't they just pour water in there?
I have no idea.
It's like we have science.
Yeah,
Maybe there's some scientific reason that won't work.
probably.
But I'm going to pretend that they should just get a hose and just
It's probably as simple as a hose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just too far from the
The
hydrant.
Yeah,
they can't run it
water
out there.
source.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay.
It's too remote to drive a fire truck out there or
Yeah.
something, or like a pressure washing truck or
Exactly.
anything like that. So
Just
I
let
get
it burn.
It's a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now that's the true horror.
Yeah.
Is that we can't get water out there, and it never rains in central
Never
PA.
in PA, no.
Yeah, never in PA.
No, it's
well, you would know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why you know. You got Pennsylvania facts.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe. All right. I got one more scene, and this. Well, I'm not going to say that. We're just going to do it. This is called the monosyllabic scene, and the challenge to this is that we're going to try and do each of our lines. All our words are going to be one syllable, so you can say multiple words,
Right.
But they got to be one syllable.
Okay.
So, important part of this is that we're really going to need to listen to one another, hold each other accountable
Okay.
with these one syllables.
Okay.
All right. And I'll give us a suggestion of a location. Sure. We are at a stadium.
Okay.
We're at a stadium. Don't know. Okay. Yep, we're at a stadium. And I'll black us out when we're done.
All right.
Monosyllabic scene.
James, the peeps are on the way.
Dang. Phil.
We should gas up the food.
For sure. Thanks for the ticks. This game is
Cool.
cool. Is a cool thing to do with you, Phil.
It is a cool thing to do with you. I'm glad you came out. You need to have some fun in your life. You know? You're not doing stuff.
True. I don't know the last time I left my house. It's been years.
Yes, James. Life is out there. And stuff like this is how you do life.
I am scared.
I know you're scared. But the thing is, if you just sit in your room and think, you just die.
I die.
Life is out here with other people, with peeps.
Peeps. I like peeps.
Good.
You
Me.
are the best peep, Phil.
Thank you, James.
You push me here.
I do.
No more scare.
You're my bro. So
In-law.
that's a bro in my book. I care for you. You know, I want you to be glad, to live a glad life.
Phil,
Yes, James.
don't love my sis.
Me don't love your sis? Why not?
Love me.
I do love you.
Phil,
That, yes.
love me, not sis.
I can't love Sam and you?
No. Just me.
James, the thing is, Sam has child on the way. And I
Not
have-
yours.
How do you know this?
Sam has seen peeps.
Sam's been seeing peeps? How many peeps?
At least 2.
Craig? Was it Craig?
No.
Lars? It was Lars.
No.
Who else is there? That was 2. Oh, but
Me.
you?
Me.
You sicko.
My bad.
Yeah, it's
Blackout. I'm going to be honest. You started listing names, and I thought you were trying to remember my name. And I was like, wait, no, he's answering the question. So I got so confused. So then I was like, wow, I'm just denying him. And like, I got confused. I was like, you forgot my name.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
And then I was like, wait, no, he's trying to guess who.
It's hard without being able to add the additional context.
Yeah, who Sam is with
Sam.
I got so confused. I was like, oh, I'm wrong. So then I just had to make it me. It was like, I had to make up for this.
Yeah, well, that works in a weird, sick and twisted way.
Yeah. Yeah, in a weird, sick and twisted way. We do not endorse incest.
Please, no.
Inappropriate.
Gross.
Inappropriate. Illegal, actually. Don't do that. This is not Game of Thrones.
Thankfully.
Nothing is. Because the ending to whatever this is will be better.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. Yikes. Incest. All right. Always leave them wanting more. So, Andrew, before we conclude tonight's episode, are there any final words you want to leave us with?
I think just thank you for having me on, man. This was a lot of fun. And I would just say that if you're new to improv or you haven't done improv, if improv seems like something you would never do in a million years, maybe try it out one time at a local theater or wherever, because I think it can offer you so many benefits in ways you would never even think about, whether you want to be an actor or whether you just want to have fun, whether you just want to meet some new people or you just want to kind of get out of your head for an hour. That's all. Yeah, that's kind of how I want to leave it.
New year, new you, do some improv. Get up off your butt. Don't be like my character, whose name I definitely remember.
James.
You were Phil.
I thought Phil.
Yeah,
was right.
you were Phil.
Phil.
Yep, and there was Sam. Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much to Andrew Colin for coming on the show. As always, we'll be back next week with another episode of Improv for the Podcast. But until then, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Improv for the Podcast was created by Matt Moore and Michael Lee Evans. Edited and produced by Michael Lee Evans. And finally, presented by Improv for the People. Interested in more IFTP? You can visit us at improvforthepeople.com or on our socials, such as Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Remember, new episodes are released weekly. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.